How's it going, Gear Junkies? Jason here. I've had a request from fellow YouTuber and mate Matt Fry of Pedal Picassos to see my live rig. So this one's for you, Matt. Prepare to be underwhelmed. But before I begin, if you like this kind of content, please help me out by subscribing. So I gig locally as a soloist, as a kind of side hustle, and it basically pays for the running of this channel. So most of the equipment that I have in this room right now was bought from doing gigs in the local area in the last 5 years or so. Most of the places that put me on only put on soloists or very small groups. They only really have big bands and stuff come through maybe once a month or once every 6 weeks. So there's more work out there for a soloist than there are for bands at the moment. So about 2/3 of the songs that I play are on acoustic guitar. So for this, I use my Takamine or Takamine G series, which I bought way back in 1995 when I was about 13 years old. This is the first good guitar I ever owned, so it's very special to me. Now, I've had a few different pickups in it. The original pickup died a few years back. I've had a couple of replacements, but the one I'm using at the moment is a Seymour Duncan mag mic, and it does a really good job. So the SM58 mic here goes directly into my vocal processor, which is a TC Helicon voice play acoustic. Now, my guitar also goes into it, but it goes via a AB box first, which I use to switch between guitars, and then that goes into the processor as well. Now, this one's different to the blue version that they have because basically it picks up on the chords that I'm playing and then adjusts the harmony note to suit the chord that I'm playing. This is without it. Yeah, yeah, ooh, ooh. So I can do harmonies above or below. That was a single harmony above, about 1/3 above. Which sounds pretty decent. Now, this vocal processor comes in handy for a number of applications. I can also use it for effects. I can use it for very specific songs that might have a very specific vocal sound. If I mute it while I'm talking, it removes any effects. So if I'm talking to the audience, I just mute that, so it takes away any slapback echo or any harmonies that might be on it at the time. And also, it acts as my guitar tuner as well. So I don't need a tuner on my board because I can use this for that as well. Tonight, I'm gonna make my true confession. Got my courage up, there's nothing gonna keep me down now. My world, you're tangled up in good intentions, but you know what my heart's trying to say, yeah. Hey, yeah. I don't use the harmony function all that often anymore. I used to overuse it when I first got this thing, but I mainly use it for effects, particularly slapback. So the main electric guitar that I use live is my Fender Telecaster. Now, the reasons for that are, firstly, it's really reliable and very versatile, so I can play a number of different styles on this guitar. But also, you know, it stays in tune pretty well, and because it's a hardtail, I can tune down to drop D, and I'm not going to put the whole guitar out of whack. So I'll take you through each pedal and how I use them. So I'm going to start with the Strymon Iridium. That's probably the most important one because it's always on. That's my amplifier in a box. I have it set to a Fender Deluxe setting to try and mimic my Fender amplifier. And on the neck pickup. Now, that's a really good platform for my other pedals. Now, I very, very rarely ever use a clean channel on its own, so I'll always use it with some kind of dirt. For my light overdrive, I like to use a Blues Breaker style pedal. I did used to use the Moore Blues Crab, and then I replaced that with the Blues Breaker reissue when it came out, but I recently replaced that with the JHS Morning Glory, which is kind of the same thing, but it's smaller footprint. I use the Pugilist distortion a lot. It's a kind of 2-in-1 pedal for me. So it's got 2 different drive circuits which you can blend together, or you can run one or the other. So I have it set to side A for most of the time, and that gives me a really sort of classic rock sound. And that's my rhythm tone most of the time. If I have to play something a bit harder, what I do is I turn that blend knob all the way to the other side, to the B side, which is set up for a bit of a harder distortion. If I'm doing more of that hard rock stuff, I will actually change guitar to something with humbuckers as well. The SD1 has been on this board since I first put this board together, and I never use it on its own. I use it solely as a boost for all of the other drive sounds. So I can use it to boost the Morning Glory. I can use it to boost the Pugilist side A. And I can also use it to boost the Pugilist side B. Now for modulation, I mainly use chorus. I do sometimes use flanger, but not all that often. And to be honest, I don't use modulation all that often in my set. I used to use an Iridium SCHZ, but I grew dissatisfied with that pedal. So now I use either one of 2 different pedals, which is either the Wazacraft CE2, which is currently on the board from my last gig, but I will sometimes use the Past Effects PX65. Now, that will depend on whether I'm playing on a stage or not, because a lot of the gigs that I play, I'm actually on the floor with all the punters. And if everybody's having a good time, people spill drinks, and that PX65 is very near and dear to me. So if I don't have a stage, I won't use it. I'll go with the Boss instead. So the last pedal that I haven't talked about is the Boss RC5. Now, it's not actually in the guitar signal chain at all because I use it as my playback machine for all of my backing tracks. Now, one of the things that I noticed very early on when I started doing this whole thing is when I played electric guitar, that it just sounded so much thinner because the electric guitar didn't have as much body as an acoustic guitar. So I decided I think the best thing for me to do was to create some backing tracks for some well-known songs so that I could play electric guitar live. So that's what I did. And I've created a whole library of backing tracks for a lot of songs. But I also use it for the whole Trojan Horse thing where I might sneak in a couple of originals as well.
not had much time with work and chores and life, but our relationship is sound. We both have our ups and downs. Well, at least that's what I thought. The place was empty when I came home. I found a letter on the floor, and all it said was, "You're no fun. You're no fun anymore. You're no fun. You're no fun anymore. You're no fun."
So that's it. That's my live rig. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think that I'm cheating because I'm not using an amplifier or anything like that. But it's nice and compact and it does the job for me. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. You can support this channel by going to the Middle Age Gear Junkie store and buying some merchandise. And you can also join the Middle Age Gear Junkie Facebook page. We'd love to have you. Other than that, my name is Jason. Have a wonderful day. See you later.